Hello, this is Taehoon from Fiefworks, and today I would like to show you our pre-alpha version of our desktop overlay. Mind you, this is still very much in a building phase. So if you have feedbacks, suggestions, or criticism, now is really a good time to share with us. So please, if you have one, just write us using info@czero.cc or consider joining our Discord and share direct messages. Okay, so let us start. So the overlay experience actually starts from the point where you're not using our CZero engine, but doing something else with your desktop. So you might be writing your report or PowerPoint or just surfing the web, whatever. So just to help your understanding, I will act out the most artificial example where I'm gonna just browse the web, namely Google News, and then I'm gonna try to find one article and then pretend there is a specific text segment that I'm very interested in, and then I'm gonna try using that for all the downstream AI workflow. Okay, so now we're here, and let's try to find a suitable article. Let's say looks like this one is a good example because I do not know anything about this GlobeSpan or EvolutionX, so probably it's a good article to investigate. And like I said, let's try to pretend that I'm very interested in this segment here, and I'm very keen on using this for my downstream AI work. So what do I do at this point is I send this text to CZero Overlay. As you can see now, your highlighted text is now fed into this CZero Overlay. And then the overlay tried to fetch relevant metadata. So as you can see, it figured out that you're using Chrome browser. And then also it fetched the title of your browser tab. And then since it figured out you're using browser, it also tried to fetch the URL. And then, yeah, it succeeded in doing so. So with that, now your input context collection is done and ready. With that, now you can proceed with literally endless amount of different texts. Sorry, the AI tasks. As of now, in this pre-alpha stage, I tried to put the downstream works into 4 different boxes. The first one is AI chat. So you can chat with your local LLM models you picked, given this input context. And then the second box, so from now on, I'll just call it as a second action. So second action is what I call the generate response. And this means this is for generating one-shot response, giving the pre-configured template. So good example would be drafting an email that actually satisfies a few requirements that you actually impose. And the third action is save to workspace. So since you collected this input context, and given that this is somehow valuable to you, then why not give an option to save it to the workspace so later you can retrieve it for your other works. And then final action is called start workflow. And then as you can imagine from the icon, this is about agentic workflow. So if you already have a very specific and well-defined workflow, then with this menu, then you can initiate the agentic workflow. And now let us try one by one, and I'll show you what each action actually looks like in practice. Okay, so let us start by checking out AI chat. But before that, let me enlarge the UI for better visibility. When I click AI chat, then we get this chat UI. And for this video, I'm using Gemma 3N, which is by far until now my favorite LLM. And I'm gonna ask Gemma 3N to summarize this input context. And now Gemma 3N is gonna give us best effort answer, I think. Okay, so from the summary, we now know that The article was about again another AI business trying to raise fund and etc. etc. So now why not let us ask a bit more engaged question. And for that, I would give access to web. And then, so how it works is that the CZero overlay has the browser baked in, so that when we turn on this web search functionality, then when you give your input query, then the local LLM model would trigger the web search and then use the returned search result to answer your question. So let me ask a question like this. Okay, now it's searching the web, and now based on the search result, it will try to give us best effort answer. To me, this sounds very generic, but at the same time, I don't think you'll be getting too much, let's say, impressive answer, even if you use another, let's say, frontier LLM models. Okay, so it tried best, and I think it gave a fair answer. And then let's try to check which references it was checking, and at least it was able to refer to one, let's say, website that was posted 40 minutes ago, and it was also referring to one website that was 6 months ago. But all in all, it was fetching relatively recent sources, and then you can also check the URL yourself if you're interested. So yeah, that was it for the AI chat, and let us move on to the next feature. Okay, so let's test out generate response. Once you click generate response action button, then you're presented with a whole set of configuration menus. And under writing style, you can configure a template that you want to use. And then in this case, let us ask our overlay to draft us an email. And under input text, you can check for yourself what's getting fed in as an input context. And then if you don't like it, you can tweak a bit to suit your likings. And then under knowledge context section, here we can choose our database that we want to use to retrieve some relevant information. But for now, we can just ignore it because we didn't configure a database that has a relevant information to this input context. So it's not gonna fetch anything. So finally, we have a generation settings. Here, you can configure the number of responses to generate. So in case you want to pick the best one out of multiple responses, you can configure multiple generation. But for today, we're just going to ask our LLM to generate just one response. So let's generate. Now it's drafting up an email for us. Okay, so now it's generated, and let's check. So if you just swap out these placeholders, then I think you can just send it as it is. So with that, we can now move on to next feature. So now next up is save to workspace action. So let's try clicking it. And now the overlay will do some preliminary work to try to extract some keywords and suggest what's the name of the workspace folder should be, and so on and so on. So this let's say it would actually suggest that it should be named as documentation, and then it would some keywords should be these keywords. And then now it's up to you to give a workspace name. So let's say I'll just put it as web scraping or web crawl. I don't know, web crawl. And then you can already check if you already have an extensive amount of workspaces, then you can already check whether there are some already similar content that exists, but we don't have it at the moment, so you can ignore. And then let's try to save it. Okay, now it told us that the workspace was saved, so let us check. Uh, so okay, so we can really check there was a new like workspace generated from our web scraping. So let us now test the final feature, the start workflow. And as you can see, we have two agentic workflows configured. And then for today's demonstration purpose, these workflows are really just handcrafted by us. But the vision is to distribute a template repo so that anybody who is interested in generating their own agentic workflow can actually use that template to generate. And then we can all share that workflows together if you're using CZero Engine. So just for a pure demonstration purpose, let me show what's possible with this agentic workflows. So I'll execute the workflow that's named Smart Knowledge Synthesis. So what it's gonna do is it would generate a knowledge graph based on this input context. So let's see how it fares. So there's gonna be a like brief explanation of what's gonna happen. And then there's gonna be a workflow specific configuration that you can do. So for example, I will choose a comprehensive graph for this knowledge graph and then let it generate. Let's see. And then now it's running a knowledge graph analysis. And here you go. Now it tried to, it extracted a few entities from our input context. And then as what I can tell, it's dominantly showing only one cluster group, so we cannot really tell. But let's see also like what are some further insights that that the overlay extracted. So there seems to be this globe span capital seems to be at the center of this issue, and then that seems to be it. The other insights seems to be not so let's say human interpretable. But that was an example of what is possible for when you run a agentic workflow using a CZero overlay. Okay, with that, I think we can conclude the first pre-alpha footage video. And again, like I said, we're actively building still. So if you have suggestions or any thoughts, please feel free to join our Discord and share with us. Thank you very much.